In today's video, we have the round 1 Q&A. So I'll go through all the comments of my round 1 review, and not all of them will be questions, but I'll just go through them anyway, and most of them are questions, so I'll answer them as best as I can. Yeah, I like my own video, whatever, I forgot to hide that. I'm good for algorithm, but yeah, I'll read out all these questions and see how we go. So if they're too long, I'll just read the first 3 lines or something, and yeah, I'm only trying to help out. You don't have to agree with everything I say. I don't always agree with the comments. You know, how many people told me don't pick Heaney, don't pick Lipinski, and here we are. So still early, but you know, signs are good. So first question from Big Clark Clements. Question: should I trade out Crisp or hold? So this is probably gonna see this question 10 times. I think the signs weren't good. I think hold. I just think try to explain it in the podcast. There's a few moving parts around him that have changed. You know, new coach. You know, he just didn't really get those chances to get the ball behind, like sweep off the back of the clearance and stuff like that. So it's a little concerning. I think he'll come good if he goes down back, but in his current role, I don't see him averaging at his price. So if there's a better opportunity that pops up, I think you could. The wise thing to do would be to hold this week. Get more information, because only 1 week, and we know that this was his worst score since the COVID years, so in 2020. So I think he's a hold for a week, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's more issues with this pick, because the role has changed slightly from last year. We kind of knew that in hindsight. We shouldn't have picked him, but look, he's every chance to pump out 100 and then no worries. But I still think even if he does, I think in his current role, I don't see him being top 6. So or even top 8, to be honest, but I could be wrong. I think the best answer I can give is just wait a week and fix your rookies this week. Next question, Clark Clements again. I stuck with Heaney too. Funny because I nearly traded him to English, but my brother taught me out of it. Okay. They both look really good. George, what do you think about these trades? Chris, Dixon, and Hinge to Hewitt, Sicily, and Hayes. So it's getting 2 primos in, or 2 primos. You know, I see Hewitt and Sicily as primos. I don't like using boosts this early. Again, we spoke about this on the podcast, and this is my view, but trade boosts can help you accelerate your upgrades and get rookies off the field earlier than other people. For that reason, and that accumulates, you know, once you've used all your, I don't know, 4 boosts in the first half of the year, for the next few rounds, you have most likely 1 or 2 less rookies on the field than everyone else, and that could be 50 to 70 points a week. Given the strength of the rookies this year, it actually might be less than that. But nonetheless, I still think I would rather hold my boosts. And that will also help you get guys in like Jack McRae, if you're silly like me and didn't start him, or even a Steele or Oliver, or those sort of, you know, 120 plus mids. So hold your boosts. If you really want to do these trades, like, I don't think there's any reason to trade Hinge. Dixon could get dropped for Hayes. I think Dixon to Hayes is okay. Hayes' ceiling is just massive, and Dixon in that, you know, terrible team in a terrible Supercoach role, it just doesn't, and you know, he's far less talented than Hayes. So Dixon to Hayes I would do, and then probably wait a week. I don't think, yeah, I would hold. I would just do Dixon to Hayes and hold off on the other 2 for now. But yeah, make sure you got no other pressing issues. So yeah, just the 1 rookie correction this week. Kevin A, is Matt Rowell a must-have? I don't have him, as I managed to upgrade to him at the last second. Okay. I'm thinking of trading Berry to Chapman and Rowell to Gibcus. Okay, so I think you do have to move mountains to get Rowell in, because he clearly has keeper potential, and his contested numbers are off the charts. And if he starts winning a bit of outside ball, God help if you don't have him. So he is a must-have. You need to get him in. There's every chance he's a keeper, and he's already pumped out at 150. And this is, you know, we knew he had this in him. So Berry's sounds like he's okay. So look, Berry's a hold, but I wouldn't be getting Gibcus in. I'd maybe Skinner. I guess he'll keep playing, but probably won't score much unless he's allowed to peel off and intercept a bit more. But I think it's okay, only because you need to get Rowell in. So 2 trades to get a potential keeper. Yeah, I think that's okay. Just assess. I don't know. I think you could wait a week, just because to figure out which is the best defensive rookie out of Sin, Gibcus, and Skinner. But yeah, I think you could if you want. I just think the priority on Rao is that high. Alistair Burrell, would you go Tom Green from GWS over Lipinski? I would say no. I think Lipinski's more durable, and with Green, I don't have a very good read on, you know, his numbers weren't off the charts in the preseason. I didn't see the Supercoach ones, but he didn't hit 100 Dream Team in either game. So it's I don't advocate getting Green this round because I don't have enough data on him. Whereas Lipinski, I followed him the entire preseason, and this surprises me. It does not surprise me one single bit that he did this, and I think he can continue to go 105, 110 plus. I really rate Lipinski, and he's improved his contested game as well. So I would go Lipinski or wait a week for both. So Green is too risky. It's just there's no evidence of premium scoring. You're just betting on a breakout. It could work, but I'm a little more confident in Lipinski's output than Green. Lipinski's also had an extra 3 years in the system. So, I mean, look, Green has the highest ceiling, but you can't go Tom Green off one game. Wait a week, I think, on Green. If you want to grab Lipinski this round, I think go for it. I picked Chris, I don't know how to say his name. I picked Chris last minute when I found out Lloyd was not playing for Sydney. Regret it now. Yep, everyone else in the same boat. Kirk, not sure if we watched the same game, but Jerry looked horrible in the ruck and got towered by Reeves. Role was there for him, not sure he's up to it, and Goldie looked infinitely better in the ruck. Well, Goldie's obviously a better ruck. I thought Jerry got a bit physical in there. I think Jerry's probably a bit better in the second half from memory. Well, they got to persist with Cherry because CCJ's not a ruckman, and I think the other rucks they have, I think maybe Edwards, I can't remember if he's ruck or forward, he's underdeveloped, and they need to develop Cherry in the ruck. They held on to him. What, they're going to play 34-year-old Goldie in the ruck still? Goldie's a really good forward, which helps Cherry's case. I think they'll persist with Cherry in the ruck. I'd be surprised if they didn't. So he's 200k, his first ruck. I think he's decent. So yeah, I guess if that's how you saw it, that's fine. I was really impressed with him in the preseason though. So see how he goes, but yeah, I'm just going to keep fielding him. Ryan Hutton, Hayes for me is F6 going forward. I'm punting Brody for Martin and starting Hayes. I think there are concerns. Brody's, every time a midfielder came in the preseason games, from the preseason 1 to preseason 2, Brody's CBA's dropped. And I think there's a chance that he does get pushed out a little bit of that midfield as Fife gets fitter. Fife, it doesn't sound like he'll play this week. They're saying he's not progressing as fast as they'd like, so that's a bad sign. So if you have to punt somebody for Martin, I guess you could do Brody, but I think Brody's role is pretty darn good. And he has a very, very soft fixture, incredibly soft. I think Saints and West Coast next to, and a few more easy ones after that. So I'd like to hold Brody. I think maybe wait a week on this one and maybe see if there are any other rookies that can go for Martin. So I would hold off on Brody to Martin for 1 week. Unless you got like heaps of other issues. But I'd like to hold Brody. Yeah, there are concerns with him though. Christian Ricchetti. Love your work, George, but I think you're overreacting to round 1 a little bit in this video. It's a long season. Yeah, I always do that. Fair enough. Joshua Galastians, yeah. Why don't you like the side pick? I think it's okay. He went 97 in the COVID year, and he played injured. I think he had knee soreness throughout the year, last year. It could be good. It's he's never averaged over 100, and let's be real, I don't think Richmond are very good this year. Sorry, you know, if he's watching, but yeah, it's just picking. It could work, but it's very small sample size. They're playing very fantasy friendly back there in their defense, taking a lot of marks back there. So it could work. I think it's a little early, and I'm a little unsure what he sustains, because even though he did play through injury last year, was that an excuse all the time? Because he had some really shocking games. So yeah, one that could work, but I'd rather hold off. I think there's priority on other players. Andrew Birch, how you going? Big Birch, the mid-price king, I think. I'll give him that crown. I think he'll like that. You're way too hard on yourself sometimes, George. This is a very good round 1 side. Crisp and Steele both go on 20 plus this week. Yeah, I am happy with the side. I think it obviously could be a little bit better. There are some better sides out there, but overall I think it got all the right rookies and stuff. Yeah, I think Steele should bounce back, and Crisp, we'll see. But yeah, I've always been a little bit hard on myself. I remember my tennis coach would say, like, why do you roll your eyes every time you hit a bad shot? You know, you hit 4 or 5 decent ones, you hit a bad shot, and you just get upset with yourself. It's like, let it go, stop it. You're really hurting yourself. I was like, yeah, I guess it's true, but I never learned to let go. Maybe I should. We'll see. Thoughts on LDU? Played Hawthorn. It's just, he doesn't accumulate enough on a consistent basis. So he's a no. Wait and see how he goes over the next few weeks, but it's too expensive, and like the chances of him being a top 8 player are slim to 0. But yeah, he's got a lot of talent. He's got a massive frame. Jacob Petrilli. I'm not gonna read this whole thing. I don't have Martin or Shelley. We'll have to get both in. Martin, yes. I think Rochelle's too expensive and a little bit hard to navigate to get in. So, like, say going Brody and Ward to Rochelle and Martin. Sorry, Ward and Brody. Yeah, Ward and Brody to Rochelle and Martin. No. Worth downgrading Brody, Cherry, or McGovern. No, I hold all Brody, Cherry, and McGovern. I think, look, get Martin in for your worst rookie. Owens, yes. But let go. I think you gotta. Rochelle's gone. I think it's too hard to get in. I think you only make 200k anyway, which is good, but is it worth a trade? Probably not. Caddy thought. Jurassic Law, don't stress, it's 1 week. Not sure why everyone's opinions on players have changed after only 1 game. I think with Crisp and Ridley, they're the only, like, we're not worried about Steele, because the role was there. The only thing with Steele was he has a bit less help than last year, which is slightly concerning, but that shouldn't affect his output too much. And like Gorn, we know Gorn will bounce back. We know he should go 115, 120 this year. So it's more Crisp's. The circumstances have changed around Crisp. So yeah, we're probably overreacting. Probably sit back and laugh at ourselves next week. Why were we so worried? Ridley's a big concern because Ridley did not look good at all, and you know he had some sort of issue. I think in his calf. I don't know if it was cramp or whatever. They threw him forward. Like, you can't have that. Like, what the hell? So Ridley's very concerning. I don't know. Could it be a fitness issue? I don't know. So yeah, I think they're both worth watching, but I'd be preparing to pull the trigger on Ridley if those sort of shenanigans happen twice in a row. But yeah, Crisp is very durable, and it's just we haven't really seen Crisp perform with all the players around him. So it was a silly pick in hindsight. Even if it did work, like, it's still silly because it made sense to fade him just because of all the changes, like new game style, new players around him, more midfield time, which he's historically scored worse in. So yeah, we are reactive though. So yeah, SJ out of 10. How important is to get Rao? 10. Rao over Lipinski. Look, I'll concede. You got to get Rao over Lipinski. Rao is not like anyone else in this league, basically. Will Turner, fantasy question. Crisp and Brody, Tahini and Sicily. I think it's fine. I think Brody will keep going up a little bit in price. With Chris, sorry, this is fantasy. You can probably skip the next 30 seconds, but with Crisp in fantasy, he's so overpriced. He's like the same price as like Andrew Brayshaw, for example. So yeah, I would do that. Play the break-even game. But I'm by no means an expert on fantasy. So yeah, I would do this. Make sure you got your rookies right. Make sure you got Hayes and Martin and all that first. So Ward to Martin or Dixon to Martin? Dixon to Martin. Hey George, with no forward loophole, who would you start at a Durden, Martin and Hayes? Not Durden. Durden's still good, but you know, his role is worse than the other two. Hayes scored much better in the SNFL, and Martin, well, his role, he got 27 touches. He is really unlucky to score 110. Easily, you look at that stat line, you're looking at a 150. So, I think Martin's a little safer. Hayes has high ceiling. I know that sounds silly because Martin just scored 110 off 5 goals, but not going to do that every week. So, I think Martin or Hayes. I really don't know. Okay, if you want to play a little bit safer, go Martin. If you want to play for the ceiling, go Hayes. Sabin 14. McInerney or Hewitt? Oh, McInerney to Hewitt. I assume he means Justin McInerney. So yeah, I would do this trade because McInerney, he kind of made a little bit of sense in fantasy because he's underpriced and wing is a bit more better for fantasy. But in Supercoach, he's 4th year winger, unproven. Also might have a bit of an injury, so I don't know if he even plays this week. So Hewitt, 4 or 5 more years in the system, better role, more developed. Yeah, I would do it. Make the correction. Yeah, the profile of McInerney just doesn't add up to being like a top 10 defender. But, he could be good. Should I go Berry down to Rochelle to give myself 100k to work with? Nah. Let it go. The only thing with Berry is he's listed as a test on the website, even though they said that he'll be right for the next round. So just keep an eye on that. If Berry's injured, I think you could do it, even though Berry will probably come back. But Berry is so insanely injury prone. Like, yeah, you look at the lists, it's like you could fill up an A4 piece of paper. I don't know, like there's like 15 individual, like 10 to 15 injuries, I think. It's on DR. DR did a video on Berry. His injury history is disgusting. So only if he misses, I would do it. But yeah, even if he misses, he probably still could. But if they both play, I would hold. Wouldn't surprise me if Berry sucks though. He was terrible, but has a very high ceiling. Is Nick Blakey consideration due to halfback role Sydney have been playing? Well, Lloyd is coming back in, so wait a week, but he is cheap and he's also very injury prone. So no, see how he goes with Lloyd in the team and then go from there. But at 300k, it's very awkward, but I guess it's okay because he's only like 140 more than Gibcus or Hinge. So yeah, just give him a watch next week. But yeah, be aware of the no Lloyd this week factor, and he's injury prone. James Pledger, hey there, brother. Great breakdown. I did exactly what you mentioned last night. No Mucky around this year. Crisper Sicily and Barry Lipinski. Might switch Ridley in the Sicily trade. Don't know at the moment. But I'm going extra aggressive and boosted one more upgrade. I get that. We should. This is too long. So just answer the first question. So you have Crisp, Ridley, both. You could wait a week on both. Look, I want to pull the trigger. Look, I've tried to explain in the Discord that I really want to pick Lipinski, and there's actually a chance he gets forward status because he started forward a lot, pushed up mostly, but 0 wing time. I know that, so there's a chance he gets forward status. So that comes into play with Lipinski. It is a little bit of a bet. Is he a mid keeper? Probably not, but it's a bit of untapped. We haven't really seen him with a full mid role at AFL level, and he looks unbelievable. He dominated the practice game. Fortunately, got injured in the Amy. Very unlucky. And then he completely annihilated St Kilda. Did whatever hell he wanted, and it's a bit like watching Heaney. He just gets up and down the ground so easily. It's a really good sign. So look, I'll probably do Crisp to Sicily and Barry to Lipinski. Is it fundamentally flawed? Absolutely. Because you're trading what you thought was a top-end defender to a potential top 8 defender. Depends how you rate Sicily. And then Barry to Lipinski, well, if Lipinski's not a keeper, it is kind of a waste of a trade. Because not only does it cost 100k, but Lipinski also needs to make another 150 on top of that. To even warrant a trade. So on the flip side is, well, Lipinski could get forward status. Berry's very injury prone, and his role, and he's currently carrying an injury. We don't know how, if that's going to affect him or not. So that's kind of the flip side. And also Lipinski plays the Crows this week, and if you don't get him this week or next week, it's going to be really tough to get him because he's going to rocket in price. I fully expect another big score from Lipinski, and I can guarantee what's going to happen on the podcast is we're going to be talking more Lipinski. How do we get him in? Although some people still not view him as a keeper and just be like, whatever, he's 350k. So there's both sides to the argument. The safe thing, there's less backfire potential if you just do nothing. Obviously, there is backfire potential if you make the trade. But look, if you're not happy with Crisp and you're not happy and you really, really want Lipinski, like me, I really, really, really want Lipinski. I think you can do it. Is it fundamentally wrong? Yes. But As I said, if Lipinski can become a forward keeper, if he gets forward status, it'll be unbelievable. And if not, he'll be a really, really good on-field option. And he's not injury prone like Barry. So, see how we go. Yeah, the answer is if you want. I'd feel comfortable doing it, but don't be surprised if it backfires. Not Lipinski underperforming, but more foregoing Barry could backfire. Dan Marshman, Sicily's a trap like Ridley, not really intercepting enough and others showing kick-ins. I don't agree with that. He won a lot of his own ball. And he's a proven scorer in the past, and he's had a massive preseason, worked really hard, and yeah, still got 40% of kick-ins. So I think that's a terrible take. So I don't know what to say. It's just, yeah, I just disagree. Drop Brody for Martin, get Hayes. I think Brody will keep playing, and I think Dixon is a good chance to get dropped, and probably won't make much anyway. So I think I'd rather get rid of. I'll assess next week who I want to get rid of for Hayes. So that's why I'm waiting a week on Hayes. Should I get your love child Lipinski? Yes. Another question. Hinge got a corky. I miss Real and went 22-29. He comes in this week for Berry. Yes, I think you got to get Real at just about any costs. Apart from like giving up like a McRae or Grundy or something or whatnot. Brody or Cherry. Like Witz a lot. Might see how he shapes up against Gorn. If he scores another 120, I might look to get him in. The problem with this is Witz is probably not a keeper. He's coming off an ACL. Even though he scored really well, looks really good. Coming off an ACL, yes, he has a better midfielder tap too, but we see in the past, like, players can sort of slow down as the season goes along. They haven't had full preseasons like other players. And also already copped like a little niggle with his knee, but I think he's fine. So you're going backwards. You're going to what will be Gorn, a top 3 ruck most likely, to Witz, who is most likely not. So you just need to trade back to get to another keeper. And again, Witz is like risky because of no preseason, or limited preseason. So I don't think it's a good idea, no. Grundy or Witz? Grundy. I don't know how to answer that. I think not the best question. Needs more context. Okay, Supercoach. Who should I pick? Hewitt or Sicily? I think Hewitt, better role. Nick Martin should have been 130, 140, 27 touches, 10 marks, 5 goals. Agree? Agree. Lipinski or Tom Green? Answered this before. Lipinski, I understand a bit better. I don't have a great understanding of Green. Like, I know he's really good, really talented. Patrick Cripps game style, monster at the clearance. Good target up forward if they need him to be there. So, oh man, if Green got forward status, I don't think he will, but they used him forward a bit last year. So, but yeah, I don't think he will. So, if you're interested in Tom Green, you have to wait a week. There's just not enough sample size on Green for me to be confident to recommend him. So Lipinski, I'm very confident in. So Green high ceiling, I like Lipinski though, a bit more durable too. Mick Donady, from round 1, English, Hull, and Jack Hayes are must-haves. Yes, Jack Hayes. Hull, I'll say no because of durability. But oh my goodness, if you have Hull and he doesn't get injured, you are laughing your head off. English is a hard one. It depends what he's. If he can, I think someone messaged me to say he'll play against Pitney, not De Koning. Didn't realize that, but if he completely annihilates Pitney, I think we'll start asking questions like, are we getting a forward keeper here for 470k, first ruck, coming into his 6th year, and a player that trajected in the same manner as Gorn and Grundy. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how high English can go this year. Yeah, I think that there could be a huge ceiling in this, which is why I'm kind of considering Gorn to English, but I need one more week to see that. And by the way, Gorn is fine. You don't even need to do that trade, but it depends how high you think English can go. So yeah, I say Hayes is a must-have. Hall's not a must-have because of durability, and English could be, but it'd be a little hard to get him in. Ollie Hughes, George, what do you think about flipping Berry to Rao? I have cash left over. Yes, you need Rao in your team, otherwise you're going to cry every week. Make your own decisions. This guy's a miracle walker. He didn't start McRae. Oh, I dislike this. Probably salty. I'll just fix that. This guy. I love comments. Definitely get real. I love Sam Doherty. Bad machine. I don't know. He's not exactly overly durable. Missed probably preseason a bit. I say it could be okay. Like, we know he's got uber premium scoring in him. Played wing last year at a position. Yeah, I don't think the long-term durability is there for him, but you might as well go Aaron Hall if you're looking for that sort of player. So it could work. If you want to go for him, go for him. I think I'll pass for now. But yeah, definitely has a ceiling in him. Lots of people already pulling the trigger and getting rid of underperforming primos, Ridley, Crisp. Worth holding one more round or go for the value picks. Well, my play style is I see such extreme value available in all lines. I'm chasing that. I want that. I don't really want to hold my overpriced players. We got more trades this year. We got more money makers than we ever have before. Maybe I'm misreading that's how I read the Supercoach landscape at the moment. So I think about it from that point of view. So look, the value picks are also, it's not like breakout picks. It's players with proven scoring that are fitter than they've ever been. Isaac Heaney. Tim English has gone 100 before. George Stewart averaged 98 in the midfield last year, playing a lot of defensive stuff. So you can see, like, the value is extreme. Sicily's gone 105 before, although it probably doesn't go that again. Might get some more defensive jobs, but can still score in that role. So yeah. I am all for, yeah, I don't mind. Ridley is, there's red flags everywhere with Ridley, but look, ideally, if you got nothing going on, just give him another week. Brody to Hayes to get Barry to Lipinski. Yeah, if you want. It's probably a bad trade. I think Barry's fine. Brody and Barry look fine, so I don't think it's worth 2 trades, to be honest. But if Lipinski's keeper and gets forward status, then it's worth it. Otherwise, it's whatever. Barry's injured as well. Look, you can do it if you want. I think Brody will be decent for us, though. The coach keeps saying good things about him, despite benching him for 20 minutes at a time. But yeah, depends how high you are on Lipinski and if you're worried about Barry, his injury. Perspective is so interesting in this game. A lot of negatives going around for sure, but for someone that had a bad game, low possession DT count, still ton, that's a massive positive for me. This is my concern with Short a few months ago. You read Punt Road End is a Richmond forum website, and you read Big Footy, Richmond board, he is a whipping boy on those forums. That is not a good sign. And you can see why. He's kicking decisions, like his dump kicks are so stupid and frustrating to watch. And he just goes missing in patches as well, but they are a bit dependent on him for rebounding. So he's a good scorer, but I don't think he's a good player like he was in 2020 anymore for whatever reason. So at least he can score points. So not one worried about at the moment, but he's going to be frustrating, I think, throughout the year. Any opinions on Alex Davies? George could be a bit of a pod. He doesn't have any history of accumulating, and he played a very sorry West Coast team. I think there are other priorities than Davies. If you started him, it's fine. I don't think there's any reason to grab him though. It's just there's no evidence of high accumulation at like any level. Preseason, VFL, juniors, it's just not there. So it's a no for me, but could work. But yeah, other priorities. Any chance that Andy McGrath gets defender status, becomes a keeper down that back? I honestly didn't monitor McGrath too much. I watched bits and pieces of Geelong and I didn't watch the full thing. So I honestly can't tell you. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he had like 50% CBAs when I was looking at the thing. I can't remember. Go on to Wits to facilitate Barry to Cripps. No, you're going to players that like Cripps is sort of injury prone. Wits has limited preseason. No, I wouldn't do this. Already have English in the forward line. Nah. I don't think it's worth 2 trades. I'll say no. Go Brody down to Hayes, Barry to Lipinski with cash in hand. Brody's role will only get reduced when 5 comes back. I think it's a good take. That means I can also field Nick Martin, who's just like, I'm stuck with Nick Martin on the bench. The only thing I don't like with this is, I could consider this only because I want Lipinski so badly, and I just want to get him in for I think it feel good to have him. I wanted him all preseason. Yeah, I agree. I think it depends if Dixon gets dropped. If Dixon doesn't get dropped with like Darling in the team, then I can probably just hold him. Otherwise, I can just trade him off for Hayes. Sam Bradley, surely DeGoey doesn't pass your morals test, George. I mean, who am I to judge? I think we're all make mistakes in life. Hopefully he can take his 5th chance, 6th chance, whatever it is, and not do stupid stuff. So, look, as a footballer, I was impressed with him on the weekend. I think the role is not as good as it was last year because it's more forward half. So, yeah, not one I'll get in early, but we'll look at later down the track. The forwards it's stacked forward line. Dunkley, Heaney, Butters, Taranto, maybe Cogs, English. Bensky started forward a bit, see if he gets forward status, and then whoever else. There might be someone who pops up. Oscar McInerney might get forward status, will be interesting. I have to check that. Check his CBAs. Interesting. Nick C, Supercoach. It's honestly hurting my soul hearing so many people saying that they're going to use all their trades this week, getting rid of players like Crisp and everything after round 1. Who cares? Honestly, worry about what you're doing yourself rather than what other people are doing. I know I sound salty there, but like it's whatever. James McCarroll, my God, Rao looked ominous last night. He did. He looked like a must-have. What should I do with Crisp? Should I get Rao as I missed him? If you can somehow navigate Crisp to Rao, I would do that. Thug Life XD. As an Eagles fan, I haven't seen Nick Nat get dominated like that in a while. Woods looks strong and might give Gorn a lesson. I wouldn't say a lesson, but I think he can definitely compete with him. Woods was really good in the hitouts in the preseason, so fair point. Ben Ward, giving Ridley one more chance to let me down. If he burns me next round, he's going straight to Hull. I'm going to go bury the Lipper pending injury. Yeah, that's fair. Does anyone know some consistent ruckman that does not include Brodie Grundy and Max Gawn? Probably Rowan. Fully fit Rowan. Oscar McInerney was really consistent last year in the back half. And Darcy is, for the most part, consistent as long as he's not carrying something. Nathan Harvey, I got 2,300 this week. Nice. Ward 2. Oh my gosh. Lipinski, not Lapinski, please. Put some respect on the man's name. Just scored 130. Ward to Lipinski, gone to Hayes. No, don't do that. I think Ward will find his feet eventually. It is concerning that he's struggling to get through games, but he matched Dacos for the last month in the NAB League, so I think I know AFL draft expert like loves Ward, and he's like still going to field him. He's that confident in Ward, so on his recommendation, I don't really have any interest trading Ward at the moment, so I wouldn't do this, no. Because you're going to Lipinski, a potential non-keeper, and then trading out a keeper. Like, it doesn't make sense that way. You don't go backwards in keepers. Roy Leach. Well, Skipkis had a pretty weak scoring potential. In my opinion, he has great job security. Tigers love him. Lock him in to play 20 plus games this season. I'd say consider it a slow burn, but like a Butts last year in a way. I hope so. I'm not sure on his job security. I know he was named last on the bench, so that did with Lawson coming in, maybe it depends on how many tours they want to run. That did concern me a little bit. I guess yeah, I hope he has great job security. It's good to hear that you think he has good job security. I'm not 100% sure myself. So yeah, at least the Tigers usually give the kids a run. So fingers crossed. But yeah, I did think initially his job security was okay. Certainly better than a lot of other options. Mango Man, George can add blokes who don't have to deal with these cancerous ads on your screen. Unless Herald Sun doesn't allow ad blockers. I don't know, I don't play Supercoach. You comment a lot for someone who doesn't play Supercoach. It's kind of strange. I don't have ad blocker. I think it's as someone who only makes money on this through ads, nothing else. It does, I know they're annoying, but they help, you're helping business out. You know, this Herald Sun, or giving money to Murdoch, whatever, but yeah, as in like, I guess if people use ad blockers here, then it's like, it doesn't help me. I always I skip ads, but you know, I don't get blocked for other people on YouTube. So yeah, I think it's a small price to pay when you're really helping other people out. DK Heaney looked like he could have kept going for another 40 minutes of the 40. Absolute machine. This is not Isaac Heaney of the previous years. This is fully fit, more midfield time Isaac Heaney, and you're gonna pay for it for doubting the man, or not DK, the people who did. And you're gonna see what's gonna happen when he has that run of North, Hawthorn, and West Coast rounds 4 to 6. It'll be good. Provided, of course, he doesn't hurt himself. So fingers crossed. But yeah, I love Isaac. Big fan of his. Last year I was a bit rough on him because it's a Supercoach pick because he had a bung ankle. So it's like very against the pick last year. But this is not different Isaac this year. I know it's dumb to use my 3 trades this week. It is dumb. Don't use your boost this week. Not bad. I'm thinking of trading Chris Berry and Jerry for Houston. Don't do this, Chris. Cherry's fine. Don't trade Jerry for Houston. Look, Houston could work. Houston's inconsistent player historically, so yeah, he's got a slightly better role, wing pushing up in the stoppage. Cherry's good. Hold Cherry. Chris and Berry's frustrating. I know you're trying to get Rao in. Are they trading Cherry because I have Hayes D2? I'm trying to put Martin into D5. Don't do any of this. I think try and find a way to get Berry to Rao if you can. Like you could go Sicily to Crisp if you like Sicily. Some people don't. You know, Sicily's role is going to be not always perfect, but you can still score okay in it. You could go Crisp to Sicily and Berry to Rao. I think you absolutely have to get Rao at any cost. Not any cost, but almost like you have to be making moves on, you know, potentially good players like Berry to get Matt Rao in because he's going to cane you every week. Jaden Pavlis, Jordan Might. McDonald isn't playing the same role as 2020. In 2020, he was the only rebounding defender, took 90% of the kickouts, and there was no Hall or Zeeble. He's playing third tall, kind of like Tom Stewart, just less kickers. Yeah, I thought that. Not exact. You have a better read on it than me, but I just thought he was getting a lot of the ball. But he was good at getting a lot of charity intercepts. And of course, Hall is the primary distributor. So yeah, it's a good point. So Luke McDonald, probably not as confident. I did read this comment and did make me before, and it did make me think, yeah, maybe I should call the Jets on McDonald, but I give him another week, I think. So, and yeah, if you're trading McDonald next week, you're probably trading him in. You're probably getting rid of someone who's going to make money anyway. So it's yeah, it's an interesting one because he can do well off halfback, and he played really well. He was North's best player easily. So see how he goes next week. Certainly not jumping on this week, but yeah, good. That's a very grateful for you. This constructive post. Champ you up. Other prices rises at the end of this week or next week. The end of a player's third game. After they play their third, their price changes. Clamp you up. Wasting trades here. Give them another week. Even fair enough. AT. Think I'll look to break Heaney this week. No, I think I'll look to break Heaney this week. Sorry, George. I think he means he's getting him in. 18 CBAs looks great. Most he's had in any game in the last 5. Your team's looking good. Shamey missed all the rookie scores on the field. Brody Q4 a bit worrying. I'm trading Berry no matter what too. Thinking Sicily Ridley as well. Great minds. Yeah, Berry could backfire. He could be playing injured here as well. I guess it's a bit of guesswork, but I think it's the safe thing is hold because he's cheap. He can't hurt you too bad if you hold. So ideally hold, but I want Lapinski, and I think Heaney will go nuts more often than not. Cameron Williams, stupid ad here. We'll get rid of that. Remove. I think we're nearly at the end. Cameron Williams, I got 22.92. I got 24k in the bank for fix-ups. My squad. This is too long. I'll just read the first 2 lines. I saw Cripps and Lipinski go well and didn't have hedge, and I didn't have to. Sorry, let me rephrase this. I got 24k in the bank for fix-ups this week once I saw Cripps and Lipinski go well, and I didn't have either to hedge my bets on Berry or one of the rookies in the mids. Berry Lipinski. I don't think bringing Cripps in is a good idea because I think part of the reason why we didn't pick him, I think we all expected him to do well. Well, I did anyway. Part of the reason was long-term durability. He already copped 2 knocks in his past 2 outings, so I wouldn't grab Cripps just for long term, but yeah, if you want to get Lipinski in for Berry, 90% of people will say no to that. I'll say fine. I love Lipinski, and if he's a forward keeper, bang, we are got a leg up on everyone. But yeah, that's probably a bit borderline at this point. Uncle 96, thinking of just one trade this week, downgrading Owens to Martin and moving Rochelle to M8 with Durden at F6. Ridley, definitely watch next week if he shits the bed, or move to Stuart Hall or Lloyd. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Owens to Martin is good. Rochelle M8, Durden F6. You can field Durden, I think it's okay, but if you have a better one to field on the bench, you could do that. But yeah, definitely there's a lot of strong F6s at the moment. Rams, Ridley Sister again, 100k, Owens Rochelle, that's fine. Yep, that's fine. Startled Pigeon. I held Darcy, took Hayes squad. Don't know if I should bring in Witts or stick with Hayes until Darcy returns. Thoughts, George? I think go keeper to keeper with Darcy if it doesn't get up. Like maybe go to to Gorn or something. I don't know. Should I bring in Witts? If you're bringing in Witts, you probably want to get like a defender to like a Sicily or a Hewitt, so that way you're actually getting a keeper for a keeper. Kobe Klug, 24. Does anyone know if pieces, I think he meant prices, move up after 3 games or after 2? After 3, after the player's 3rd game. George X I can't read. Expolitos. There we go. George, do we trade out Gorn to Witts if it means I can bring in Rao? Rao's a keeper, I guess it's okay. Going backwards to Witts feels kind of bad. I think only because it gets you Rao, and like I think Rao is the one player you need to move mountains for. It's hard to answer. I think it's okay. I think be aware Witts has not had a full preseason, so if he slows down, don't be surprised. But at least he's got a big score in his price cycle, and he'll go up in money as Gorn comes down. So I think it's, if you think of it that way, I guess it's okay. Rose Martin, you're jumping the gun way too early. Ari Crisp, he had a bad game. He was tagged. Was he? Pretty clear we had a plan to negate him from the game. I'd have to go back and watch tape. I don't know. Good to know. I'll investigate that. So that's all the questions. Thanks if you got through the video. Great. I don't know how long this went for, but nonetheless, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys soon.